All right, today we have singer, writer, director, actress, and overall multi-talented creative person, Hayley Kiyoko, with us on the Friday live stream. Thanks so much for coming to the show, Hayley.
Hi, thanks for having me.
I think you may be one of my favorite guests because you actually put you to work. You gave out dating advice last time you were here.
Yeah, you really put me to work last time, Kevin.
It's so challenging. I think obviously the internet can be like a blessing and a curse. Then when you get to the third date, I feel like you're starting to go, okay, what are the red flags and is this working right for me or not?
Like, oh my gosh, I'm exhausted.
Let's talk Chance. This just came out on June 1st. It's the new song and video. And not only did you write Chance, but you also directed the music video for it. What was it like doing both roles?
You know, when you listen to the song, it's very nostalgic and almost sad. And so I wanted to kind of create a visual and a narrative showcasing what would have happened if I did take a chance on myself. And that's the love story that you can see if you check out the music video.
You said in past interviews about the video, kind of speaking to what you just said, that you wanted to show a hopeful queer story, something that doesn't always make it on the screen, nearly enough as it should. Were there any works of queer joy that inspired you to go out and do it yourself in your video, or was the video truly inspired by what you weren't seeing?
I feel like a lot of the times queer narratives are focused on the trauma aspect of the relationships. And so I really just wanted to create a narrative that focused on the honeymoon stage. Those first couple weeks, those first couple months where you're just goo goo gaga and the love is reciprocated. And I wanted to showcase that and highlight that in the music video.
You also shot it on 16mm film, just to geek out for a second, for a casual fan who probably notices a cool aesthetic but doesn't understand what goes into shooting on film like that. What's the biggest difference between doing it that way and say digitally?
So shooting on 16mm is definitely a little more challenging than shooting digitally because when you shoot digitally, you can change the color of the grass, you can do all these different things to kind of fix the mistakes. And when you shoot on film, it's what you see is what you get. And so I had such an incredible time shooting on film. It was definitely a goal of mine. I think you can aesthetically see just the quality and the richness of the color, which I absolutely love about film. It was so much fun, but it was definitely way more difficult than I thought it would be. So make sure to check it out. I'm really proud of the video.
You also have this other song out. You're staying busy this year with Found My Friends, which I guess you wrote in January 2020. I can't even believe you wrote this before the pandemic, though, because the lyricism and the story you tell is so eerily predictive of what we would all go through, in terms of feelings of isolation and whatnot over the next 12 months or so. When did it dawn on you that you may have predicted the future here with this song?
The thing is that we all feel isolated and alone generally in life, right? So unfortunately we went through this massive form of isolation, which I don't feel like I could have ever predicted, and none of us could, but I do feel like when I look at my past, I felt generally isolated and alone just because of my sexuality, battling self-acceptance, self-love, and so I feel like Found My Friends is a song that everyone can kind of relate to because we all have that moment of just wanting to feel comforted and not to feel alone.
Yeah. Did you find that your art, no matter if it was acting or just any of your singing or any of the creative pursuits that you do, did that help you find your tribe, your friends, or did that at times make it more isolating?
Music was a form of therapy for me. So when I was isolated and alone, I would sing to myself, sing melodies and write lyrics, and then I'd run home, and we didn't have iPhones at the time, run home and record it on a cassette or on a little voice memo. And but it was definitely something that helped me kind of overcome these fears and challenges. And I think that's what's so great about art and music in general, is that it helps you get through really challenging times.
Awesome. Hayley, what's the best advice you could give to queer women of color trying to chase their dreams in the music industry right now?
I think the best advice I can give is to stay resilient and to expect a lot of no's, but to keep fighting for that one yes, because it'll definitely be worth it.
One of the times you were here, you were talking about your love of journaling.
Yeah, journaling was my best friend. And I've learned that just being able to open your journal and just write exactly how you're feeling at that moment as opposed to catching it up was really therapeutic for me and really helped me create a dialogue and a friendship within myself, which eventually led to, you know, writing a song like Found My Friends, where I was able to realize that I could comfort myself through these really, you know, isolating times. I have like chapters of my journals, like chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3. So my goal is like my whole life will just have all these different chapters.
It'll make a good memoir one day.
Yeah. Maybe one day. That sounds like a lot of work. I don't know if I'm gonna do that.
I remember the first time you ever came on TRL when I hosted that show. There were, I mean, your fans went so crazy that day in Times Square, and there were Lesbian Jesus t-shirts in the crowd. And that was the day that I personally found out about Lesbian
Where's
Jesus.
Where's your t-shirt? Where's your t-shirt, Kevin?
I know. I need one. You can hook me up. Your fans were so passionate. They threw bras, I believe, on stage during the show.
Yes.
And this is something the press has sort of affectionately led with in headline, you know, deeming you Lesbian Jesus. Is that a dub, you know, something you wholeheartedly embrace?
Yeah, of course I embrace it. It's fun, and you know, I'm so grateful for my fans to just like support me the way they do, and they make me feel so hopeful, and so I'm just grateful for their support, and it's a pretty incredible nickname, that's for sure. That's all I have to really say about that.
We saw a few months ago you were teasing a few seconds of some new songs on IG Live. We were just curious, you know, what's on the horizon? Anything you're excited about?
Listen, you know, I teased Chance a couple months ago, and now it's out, so you just have to stay tuned and I guess follow my journey, because I have a lot of really exciting new music on the horizon. And also too, I feel like every artist is just so excited to go on tour again eventually. I don't know when that's gonna happen for me personally, but I was able to do a live concert for Pride, and it was just the most incredible experience to just like see human beings and like smiling and cheering, and just like live music is again just so therapeutic. So I'm looking forward to having that moment again and see my fans.
Yeah, I feel like we're about to enter into like a golden age of touring right now in live
It's gonna just be like chaos. Yeah, everyone's just gonna be running the fields for live music, being like, let me in! Like it's just gonna be chaos. I'm so excited.
As are we. Thanks for hanging out with us today, Hayley.
Yes, thank you, Kevin, so much for the support. I appreciate you, and thanks for having me. See you guys next time.